What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Shibui Anime Tavern, brought to you in part by the good people of Nova Circuit. I'm Jeff, and with me as always is my homie Jason.
What's going on?
Man, it's been a good week for anime in general,
Yes,
for things I watch. And solo leveling is probably at the top of that list this week.
I 100% agree. It's good. Real good, man.
Good, like, just action-packed episode. Just lots of fun.
Yeah, and I like how they just didn't, like, sugarcoat anything. They left you right off. Like, they started right where you got left off in the last episode. So.
Absolutely. And it's official. JINWOO is that guy.
Oh, yeah, he became him immediately. He's like, I am that guy.
The one.
I am the E rank. But not in a normal way. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then
he means top now.
Right. Oh yeah. So, but yeah, if you watched the last episode, at the ending it showed him in a mysterious virtual like dungeon thing that this AI has been pushing him through. We don't know what this AI is, but it's basically been leveling him up. And he got through those goblins, and the way they ended the last episode was he getting ready to fight this this wolf, this lichen creature, or whatever this. Yeah, with like a steel jaw, and the episode ends with it jumping at him. This episode right there, right to that point, it gets right to the action.
Yeah.
And man, even though like through time, like JINWOO is like struggling, he's just getting better. It's just like
absolutely.
It's just like, oh, you think you got me, and then through like the will that we never seen him before in the previous episodes, where he's just like, nah, dog, like this ain't happening. I defeated goblins. It's like I'm
yeah, right.
So in this episode, just he finally kills that one wolf, and he's like, hell yeah. And then and even through that fight, it was a struggle because he's still kind of like leveling up, but then he has like a pack of these things come at him, and you're like, oh shit, dude. And even like my prediction.
Well, he fights the one,
yeah.
And then I believe two come, and then he fights those two off, and then there's just a mob of them.
Oh yeah, like a gang. Like he done messed up with the wrong crew.
A wolf pack, if you will.
Yeah, and just the thing is like everyone he's killing, like at times after he kills a couple, it says he's leveled up, and so he just after a while he just starts killing a whole bunch of them. And then
he kind of notices that, him doing his training before, he wasn't leveling up at all. He was just gaining a little bit of stats, like 3 stat points. And now he realizes, oh, when I'm in battle and I kill stuff, I actually level up and gain like 5 ability points instead of 3.
Right, and we also like even the part where his blade broke. And he was able, because he was able to go into inventory and pull out a brand new blade, stuff like that.
I don't know why, but that was so cool.
Yeah, he was just like, "Oh snap!" And he pulled it out, and that was cool because he, it was a minor stat upgrade, but like still like he was a badass with the sword, even when it gets broken. And so basically throughout the time he's battling, he's like, well, I can continue to level up, get stats, take the items that he's getting and he found out he could sell items too via a virtual shop as well. So man, and that concept I thought was cool too, because I was like, man, it's just like the harder he works and the more he improves, like in most video games, it's benefiting him more.
Absolutely.
And
you know what, there was something that bothered me about that though. I just gonna mention real quick. So he kills this whole wolf pack, right? We saw that he got 20 gold for killing one.
Yeah.
And he's leveled up a whole bunch. Initially he says he can't access the store because he's too low level. So he kills all these things, so he should be able to sell all those things and get another sword. Like, it just kind of bothered me because I'm like, dude, you leveled up, you're gonna have the money now from selling their I
think it was like fangs,
claws, whatever
fangs or claws, one of those.
Yeah, I'm like, why didn't you try to buy another sword before you went and go to fight this boss?
But eventually he levels up enough to the point where he feels comfortable because he realizes he can tell the levels of the creatures he's fighting based on the color of their name, which if a lot of us gamers out there know, most games have that. World of Warcraft had that system. Decaron had that system.
Very MMO-like.
Exactly. So he was like, man, like, I got these wolves. I think he even got the wolves down to green or something. Or he got the whites like your
white.
level.
Yeah, white.
And then like goblins.
No, white's like low level,
and
then the orange is like your level, and then red things are higher than you.
Yeah. So he got them down to white, and he was just like, all right, I think I'm ready. He's like, I'm ready to go fight this boss.
Very reluctantly.
Yeah. And then he finds out, shit, the boss is still red as hell. Like,
he was orange. The boss is actually orange.
Oh, was actually orange. But I know he leveled up like a shit ton. He was like, holy crap.
He did a lot.
What is the level of this thing that I went through this big of a grind for it to be like still this powerful?
Right.
And that boss was no joke either. Like, this was a legit, like, huge.
He was serious.
Boss. Oh yeah. And that whole scene of the fight with the boss was awesome because they even changed animation styles like through the fight.
It did, and I really liked it. I thought it was so cool.
I wanted to talk about that too. I was like, dude, that was like one of my favorite parts. Was when it would like change midway anime style to in the fight. I was like, man, this looks. This is.
Yeah, I agree. And then like blood is flying around all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
It just looks really cool.
But when JINWOO's fighting this thing, he realizes like this thing is no joke. Like, what the hell? Like, there's no way I can defeat this thing. But like,
it keeps messing him up too.
Yeah.
Like, it knocks him all over the place multiple times.
Like he's a rag doll, just like throwing him around.
Yeah, he's just getting messed up.
But JINWOO obviously wasn't quitting. He's like, listen, and I think that one of the best parts, I think what really like stood like out to me was when JINWOO was like, dude, I faced that god statue.
Yeah.
I'm still here. I am not afraid of this
I ain't afraid of shit.
Yeah,
now.
he's like, you know what? I'm still here after that whole incident. I'm going ham. So yeah, he like pushes forward and even still struggling at times because his things, like I said, just still whipping his ass every once in a while. Like he like almost to the point like taps into some inner power. Like it finally.
Yeah, he has some sort of awakening or something happens, and he gets like this blue aura around him, and his eyes start kind of glowing blue, and then he just goes in on this big snake.
Yeah, with a broken weapon, by the way.
With a broken weapon, just ready to dismantle it.
Yeah, and he finally gets it. He finally, like I said, it wasn't easy. Like this wasn't like once he went this like new awakening phase was still fight. He was still slightly struggling, but he still had advantage. Well, he finally takes the thing down.
Like very crazily, mind you. He jumps on it and like fucking breaks its neck.
Doesn't
like it's crazy.
Sword. Yeah, just uses his strength because he was even talking about how he did all that strength building, and just rips it and then starts choking. Oh man, that was so cool too. I was like, eee.
I know. I was like, dude, this is so visceral. This is awesome.
Brought your hands to a gunfight. He did too, and it was awesome. And like he took it out, and that was the end of the dungeon. So I was like, all right, cool. Like.
So yeah, so then he gets this awesome sword that's like double the stats of his previous one, and then he gets that weird like poison potion thing. Yeah. I couldn't read it because they flashed this stuff so
quick.
fast.
It was so quick, yeah. So.
And they do it with everything. It's like, could you leave it up there just for one more second so I could really read the whole thing?
Yeah, especially subtitles.
Yeah.
So what we missed to mention in the last episode was there was a random portal that opened up in the middle of like the city, which happened last episode. They barricaded it off. Well, this portal or this portal to the dimension broke, so monsters were coming through. So this is when JINWOO finds out about it because he's leaving the subway because he's out of the virtual world. It's back to normal, but he's like, man, it's really empty out here. What's going on? Like, no one's here. He goes out there and meets a soldier guy or a SWAT team member or something. And the guy's like, you didn't hear the announcement? And he was like, no. And he's like, you're messing with me. You should have heard the announcement. But one of these portals or whatever is open, and they're taking care of it right now. Some fighters are out, or whatever they're called, are out there taking care of it. Hunters, yeah. So he's like, oh yeah, I'm a hunter, and he's like, oh cool. So
he kind of ushers him over there.
Yeah, yeah. And this part was pretty cool too. Like this kind of just.
It was.
This is when you find out JINWOO is him, but JINWOO notices that the monster they had a whole bunch of E rank and D rank hunters out there, so it must have not have been that powerful. They're like, he's like,
also, the girl was there too.
Yeah,
the healer. I can't remember her name.
I can't remember her name here, but the girl that was always saving him in the previous dungeon, she was there. And
the traumatized girl.
And she, the rank B, because she was rank B or something like that.
Yep.
And she was, and he even noticed she was still going through like the PTSD and the traumatizing thing, because she like would stop healing randomly because it just flashed through her head what happened. But he notices that it's almost like a losing fight. He's like, man, these guys have been at it for a while, and it's eventually not going to work for them. He's like, these guys are all low
they
ranked.
Can't break this monster's guard.
Yep. And this is when
literally guard break him.
That's what it was. So it was pretty cool that JINWOO was just like, instead of like jumping into the fight, he takes his I couldn't remember if it was his old sword or his new one.
It was his old one.
His old sword. He just basically like just throws it like just like a spear, just like boom, breaks the guard, everything like that. And then the E rank and D rank fighters end up prevailing when they see it broke. They didn't see he did it. They didn't see him doing it. They just saw
you know what? I really, really wanted it to be like, oh, he steps out, and like just manhandles this thing in front of everybody. I wanted him to get his, recognition.
Right.
Like, hey, I'm awesome now.
Yeah. It wasn't like that. I still thought it was cool though, because like I said, he broke it.
Oh no, it was cool for
sure. They noticed because one of the guard was like, "Hey, who threw this sword?" Because it wasn't from our battle, and they're like, "Oh, is that guy over there?" And the chick sees him, and she was just like, "Oh my god, that's JINWOO," and that's when I was just like, "Yeah, he's that guy." I was like,
he's the one.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, and it's kind of cool because it's like a redemption for him, because they even throughout this episode would go through flashbacks of like him being told like, you're the weakest of E rank, they're saying E rank ever, and you're the weakest hunter ever to be like that's your nickname and stuff. And he wore it with pride because he was just happy to be a hunter to pay for his mom's surgery, or his mom in the hospital and all that stuff. So yeah, it's kind of cool, like seeing like almost that redemption now. Like he's here, and I can't wait for like other people that he was with, like to see that like this dude might actually be him, like you said.
Yeah, definitely.
I think eventually maybe the power will get to his head where it starts making him do inhumane things at times. Maybe he can't control the awakening. I don't know, but
maybe
we don't know enough about this awakening
feel like,
stuff either. So.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it could completely change his thought process or something while he's in it.
Because if it is the god helping him out, that god was not a nice god. I'm just going to throw that out there. That god was a dick.
Yeah, so. No. I feel like, though, him as a character, like, he was weak and, like, knows what that's like, and how, like, his feelings now are, oh, I'm stronger, but he still holds on to that, I was weak.
Right.
Kind of thing.
This was a fantastic episode. The action was literally, the whole episode was action. That was the best part. Like, us here
the
talking
animation
about
with the snake man was excellent.
They went almost to like a motion capture manga style art or something like that, where it just went like midway. Like, it was so good. Oh man, it's like I said, we tell you there's a lot of action. It doesn't do any justice. You have to see it yourself. It's so good. So
yeah, it was really good.
And like I said, the whole first part of the episode is nothing but pure fighting, with JINWOO fighting in this dungeon, and I loved every bit of it the whole time, just nonstop. So, and then even towards the end of the episode, it's more light. It's not him fighting, but he still shows why he's that guy. So yeah, I love this episode.
Awesome.
Easily becoming one of my favorite animes to watch. Recommend this if people haven't watched it. Hopefully you go back and watch our reviews, and it kind of like sways your opinion to watch this, because this is, and I heard so much hype about the manga, but the anime just seems like it's sticking with the hype as well. So if you guys like this video and you want to see more content, make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment on what you guys think about this episode as well, or what are your thoughts on solo leveling. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week with our review of episode 5 of Solo Leveling. You guys have a good one.
See you then. Peace.